you know what? There's just way too many videos of Zoom calls to do these for. So basically, I'm just going to put this one before all of them. What you're about to watch are part of the leaders that were going to run Paramount Pictures, a new generation, lean and mean, and basically the people that were needed to build a new studio system. But corporate greed and legacy wealth and maybe political presidential interference took all of that away. So most of the people on all these Zooms introduce themselves. For those that don't, well, you could just Google their names because they're all leaders in the worlds that they come from. My name is William Potter Clevinger. I did this with family, hundreds of them, and I will never stop, ever, until we are seen and heard. Hello, David. I'll be right on video, my brother. How you doing? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How about yourself?
Oh man, blessed and amazing, my friend. I'm sitting here with my architect, Edward Hernandez, finishing the La Paz blueprints.
Wow.
Gonna add in what I'm doing down here on Venice Beach. Oddly enough, that day you and I connected, Edward, he and I were just walking this morning where we were when I had that first conversation with you. But I'm heading off to New York next week with this presentation and basically the architectural blueprints. And I'm executing all of this and getting
I
us all
remember
going.
I remember him being with you when we had the conversation.
Bruce was with me that day. Bruce
Oh,
and I
okay.
met Edward together. It was funny. Edward was eating some pistachios, the same brand that we were, like all the days leading up to meeting him too. So I've been following the signs in the universe. David, one of my business partners and national championship college football at Virginia Tech award winner Deon Provitt is on the phone. Deon and I met on his birthday, and he works with Larry Witherspoon, who founded Connect to Your City. Deon's got D Pro TV. They're the two oracles in streaming that I partnered with to literally decentralize the entire entertainment industry. And today's focus is really fully on the Troy DeVolld Foundation, the nonprofit. Culley, who will be joining us, was literally pretty much Troy's best friend. And it hit us greatly losing him. And it's all intertwined and connected together in what this path was, down to even when we lost the presence of him on this earth was
Yeah.
the weekend that we had our huge Zoom call to partner with Pineywood School, the thing that's literally in the X post that ended up becoming a 2 hour educational Zoom. Whole thing was 4 hours. Troy passed away that weekend, and it was the weekend that DJ Lagway, which he was lead producing the long term doc on, was also named the starting quarterback at the University of Florida. So we've been through a lot with this. The whole foundation and everything that we're going to do is all going to be in his honor and his name. And it's things that he was passionate about. Also, my mom was a speech and language pathologist helping stroke victims regain their speech. Troy had a stroke, and he passed away pretty much a year and change later from it. And so, understanding your background in entertainment and also this space that I'm trying to start this in, that you're so, invested in and doing work in. Border for Angels would be one of the causes that the Troy DeVolld Foundation partners with and puts money into. Um, sorry, man. I'm just thinking
That's
about that.
okay.
Along
Why don't
with
you take a moment?
no,
Deon,
no,
it's a
I'm
pleasure to
good.
meet you.
Sorry.
Pleasure to meet you as well, sir.
Yeah. So, see, I'm a Sooner, so there we go. Did my undergrad at Oklahoma, so.
Oh man, I forgive you. I forgive you.
Okay, I'm sorry. Mea culpa. Mea culpa. Ne maxima culpa.
Yeah, my condolences as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. I didn't mean to get emotional there for a second. But yeah, long introduction. David, Deon's a rock star, and he made it to where I could literally have a streaming platform. And so, you know, we all approached this initially. I'm like, oh, let me get these entities. We'll invest. We'll do all this. Now we're just all coming together. And Deon, we got to talk to Larry about one thing. We're just going to do a JV between us and let Malka structure and fund and cover everything. So basically, what I was leading to, this is the architectural blueprints and the foundational side are the last two pieces I have to get going and kind of structure it into place leading into next week so I can travel to New York City, my friends, and come back with all of our money. So Deon, I'm going to New York next week and I don't need anybody in that meeting with me. I got to go up there and present them my crazy vision, my brain, everything that they already backed. And God's going to do the rest, bro.
There you go. There you go.
I know that's right.
Bless you.
I know that's right. That's where it's got to be.
And that's where it
Walking in
should be.
faith.
Yeah. It's from the soul.
100%. So, David,
Sure.
if you pull up the big picture Pineywood School article,
Right. I've got it.
cool, and you scroll down to the site where we announced, you know, that we were going to do this event, it says the charitable aspects that we were going to connect this all to. So if you pull that up, it says what those causes were. I want to partner with the Jimmy V Foundation. Obviously, the group that you're part of, and several others. I can send the list of those. I'm blanking on some of them right now. They all connect in some legacy capacity to all the work that we'll be doing from education, entertainment to sports. I want to start a scholarship to bring students to Piney Woods every year that want to pursue both the creative arts and sports. It's all the yin and yang of what was, you know, Troy and his soul and what made him tick, and then also what the work was that we intended to do with this. And that's kind of the general tone and approach and values behind what it is. And this whole thing launches live from Full Sail University the night of April 22nd on Earth Day, which is when we're doing our launch on Easter weekend. That's also going to be tied, Deon, to a celebrity poker tournament with Blake Wynn overseeing that. Steve Wynn's son. I'll get us connected with him. But that's the deal, David. This all launches on Earth Day, the foundation.
How appropriate.
That's the plan.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna stay quiet now. Questions, whatever we've got to run through. Culley's not on here. Let me shoot him an email. It's okay if he's not. That's why I'm recording it.
You-
That's
If I'm-
basically, yeah, go for it. Sorry.
While you do that, if I may, I was thinking about this after we last spoke last week or earlier this week, and that's why, having been on the receiving end of foundations
Yes.
through my career in the professional theater, I put together that of what's necessary to set up a foundation, the things we need to be thinking about with regard to the foundation of defining it, of how to set it up, begin to think and create a mission statement that's
Okay.
very clear and strong. All those, it's just the nuts and bolts sorts of things that we as a group need to think about.
Okay. Copy you on that, and I'll get some definite input from Culley in that as it relates to the mission statement side of this. You know, I think it's really about providing support in a manner that doesn't really exist in areas that are always talked about helping, but are usually
Right.
overlooked.
Which is beautiful, which it excites me to no end.
Yeah.
Um,
Cool. And we don't need to take up too much time today. I just wanted to get us
okay.
kicked off and to have the core squad, Mr. McClendon. You know, I've got Deon involved in this because from working with a youth standpoint moving forward, obviously he's got a college championship ring, which is pretty much the highest pinnacles, right? You can reach as an athlete in collegiate sports. And so I want to do something that connects, you know, where he comes from in the world of Virginia Tech to also my love down in the manner of the Gators in Florida and everything else. So we're gonna tie some type of situation where Deon and I basically pick one student each year, male and female, from the places that we come from, and we honor Troy and his namesake with a creative arts and sports scholarship like I was talking about, to send a student to Piney Woods, but then it also benefits them through the remainder of their careers and their lives. And they get actual mentorship
Gotcha.
moving forward in every aspect. And so it's literally practicing what, I've preached for years and said I would do if I was in the position to do it. So now I understand not only do we have the ability to make people's dreams come true, we have the ability to completely change literally families' lives. And that's what this is all about for me. I'm pushing the red button because nobody else is.
And we're here to help you.
I know. I know.
Yeah, I was just briefly, because we have it's very similar to what we did at the Arizona Bowl. We worked with over 140 nonprofits at the Arizona Bowl. Um, and it was a tremendous success, including the bowl committee itself. They're a nonprofit, and they were able to raise over $1 million to pay out the athletes, all of them, not just one, not just two, not just the stars, but all the athletes, including kickers and everybody was paid out during that bowl.
Yeah.
And what we're doing it now is we're going to be over at Virginia Tech for the spring game, and we're gonna have quite a few people with their eyes on what we're doing, because we're gonna recreate that same formula at multiple colleges throughout this next football season.
That's
And
incredible.
and the way I want to do is I want whatever nonprofit foundation, whatever name of this one's going to be, I want this to be like the hub for all other nonprofits that come and work with us on events like this. If that's
Amazing.
Here,
Absolutely.
here. Yeah.
Dude, 100% D. And yeah, you already had my head going with that too. Just with what you were talking about, we should totally do, Big Picture World presents the Troy DeVolld Foundation, and brand a game. Because we have the opportunities to do so. That's a phenomenal idea in the space that you're talking about, 100%.
Cool.
And then what we can start with one athlete or one student, but my goal is, because when we did the Arizona Bowl, they had 200, 300 kids coming just to get tours of the college campuses, so they had an experience that they never had before.
Yeah.
And so I think that would be
Dude,
something we could work towards as
yes.
well.
And also, you got my brain going. These kids that we're talking about picking, because, right, all of them, none of them are going to be individual athlete, even if it's track and field, you got a team. Whichever students we were to choose, the entire high school team, right, that they're from whatever sport they would play, would basically benefit and essentially get an NIL deal with us. So even these kids that are like some normal kid who's like planning to go like be an architect but decides to play basketball, you know what I'm saying, is on the team,
Right.
would benefit from that. And I think that creates such impact, because then it literally shows how even in high school, right, you've got to work together. None of this is about individual self, man. That's the problem. You change evolution, you put an I where the O is for a circle, it's evolution. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
you're only as good as the circle around you. Same deal. You're only as good as your team. No one self can do all this, from the richest person in the world to the person that has no money. The only way to even get anywhere is by working in, energy
And
circles.
if I could throw in something for the arts as well.
Yeah.
The arts also require collaboration and
Yes.
teamwork. And what it teaches in working with students is it teaches them to develop themselves,
Yep.
to be, because they are the product, they are it, and to make themselves the best them that they can be. And also it teaches them how to work with others and how necessary that is to achieve a larger goal than oneself. So it's God, it's so similar to athletics. It's so similar.
Most definitely, I agree.
100%.
And then
100%.
don't forget what Larry is launching when it comes to sports and the name, image, and likeness, where we're launching, we have like 5 or 6, a powerhouse of channels that are going towards services that we can apply towards different programs that we're doing. Like for instance, we have the Transfer Portal Television channel, and all these athletes that are looking to transfer, they need that type of a service. So it's like, just give me an example of that, but it's something for every sport, something to utilize for everything that we're doing when it comes to those and just college stuff, period.
I
Yeah.
love it. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So
Amazing.
amazing. Truly. Yeah, Deon, man, some background on David and I. Mr. McClendon here has literally known me since
Oh,
before I made the movie Under the Bed
yeah.
with Johnny Weston, where I discovered that superstar. And Ricky Masler, who introduced David and I, is who cast Johnny in Under the Bed. And this whole freaking thing has been literally seeds have been planted for all of us in this. I mean, for generations, man,
Yeah.
generations.
It's
Wow.
amazing how, we're along for the ride, guys. And
Yep.
we just
No,
have
I
to do
know.
what we can and be as good as we can.
I know. I want you really fast because this will actually matter to Edward. Edward, one of the foundations that we're working with, you've got one of my partners on it, David. Edward is the amazing man who came into my life as an architect that I'm not kidding when I say literally has taken the vision that was in my head and
Yeah.
put it down in a blueprint. Dude, it's better than what I was even trying to conceive, obviously, because he's an architect who's a genius working with us. And he is also fluent in Spanish. So, can you share with him some of the work that you've been doing in the film that I'm directing, that you wrote, that we're making in Mexico?
Yes, it's called Devil's Breath.
You're producing this for me.
And in 2007, there was a series of wildfires along the border of East San Diego County in Mexico. And when the fire subsided, they found the bodies of 11 people. 7 of those were undocumented. And I found out the story about one of those. It was a woman. She and her husband had lived in San Diego for over a dozen years. They had their children in San Diego. They worked in San Diego. They involved in the school in San Diego. But they were undocumented and had no path to validation. And the reason she went into Mexico was her father was dying in their village in Baja. And the only way she could get back was through the desert. And that's where she lost her life. I became obsessed with this idea. And as a matter of fact, that's when I began doing volunteer work with Border Angels, because one of the things that they do is we go out into the desert and in the mountains and leave food and water for those crossing. And there's a guy with Border Angels who keeps track of what trails are being used and where Border Patrol is and all of that. But you go up and not only do we leave uh, stuff, but we also take out the trash. We also that was the genesis of Devil's Breath, and it's a very timely movie. As a matter of fact, we were cast. We had a great team. We had begun shooting in Mexico. We were in Baja Studios when COVID hit and we got shut down. The producers of it optioned it for me. I wrote it and was directing it, optioned it for 2 more years, and they couldn't get the funding again, as many didn't post COVID. And so I started looking for a new home for the project, and I've sent it to William to see what he thinks. And he's got some, not only the script, but he's got some information on it as well, which is pretty powerful. I think it's a really important story, particularly with where we find ourselves now.
Yes,
Uh,
absolutely. And I know Culley, man. Hey, brother. Culley
Hey.
jumped on, guys. How you doing?
All right. Apologies. Some internet issues over here.
You're okay.
hello, Cully.
We
Hey, how you
recorded
doing, buddy?
this,
Yep,
so
yep.
I'll send it to you. And yeah, you've got Deon Provitt, who is one of our streaming gatekeepers and connected me with the ability to launch a streaming platform overnight. It already exists called connecttoyourcity.com that you can pull up. It's also available on Roku, Apple, everywhere else. And David McClendon, I've known Culley since before I made the film Under the Bed. We go back almost 14, 15 years. God, it's crazy, David. Jesus. And and he's a filmmaker and an incredible human being and does a lot of work with nonprofits and understands this space, comes from a theater background. You know, I ran through them our relationship with Troy and him being the namesake of this. This is something Troy and I always started talking about doing. I had no idea, obviously, it was going to be in his. Yeah, man. I had to take a moment earlier. Um, Cully was pretty much Troy's best friend, guys, as it relates to film and all of this. And so, you know, I always knew we would be connecting together in this. I always planned on it for being him to oversee all of posts and also have an opportunity to finally be the storyteller that he is. He's an incredible artist. And the work we'll be able to do on a global impact level is going to be pretty tremendous. So, Cully, this whole thing is going to be in Troy's name. It's going to be connected to various charitable causes and other organizations that we're going to donate money to. We're going to launch this entire thing on Earth Day with our telethon event. He loved Jerry Lewis. He's the one that re-inspired my love for Jerry Lewis. I brought in Bill Boyd Jr., who spent 15 years with Jerry Lewis producing telethons. He's overseeing this night. We're going to live stream the main locations, Atlantic City. Mark Wahlberg, Donnie Wahlberg, Robert Downey Jr., all business partners of mine, Cully, in all of this. They're best friends of 40 plus years, run day-to-day operations of all this. Rasta Phil and Scott Ross, who started the Funky Bunch, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. They're my partners on the East Coast. Here on the West, Brad Bowes, who owns a chain of gyms with Mr. Downey and also is the #1 celebrity trainer in the world, is one of my partners, along with Robert Russler, who started Weird Science with Robert, and Mr. Russler, one of my best friends in the world. His sister-in-law, Stacy Snyder, who ran Fox until Disney bought the company. There you go. So our group that we've assembled together, and then on the sports side, you know, Deon here has got a national championship ring that he won with Michael Vick at Virginia Tech. We created the biggest ownership group in the world with the foundation in education, entertainment, philanthropy, first and foremost, hospitality and sports ownership. Edward, who David was going through that story we're making in Mexico with, is our architect who's finishing the blueprints for the land that we've zeroed in on and I'm going into escrow on and having a signed agreement on in La Paz, Mexico, where we're building a pro sports stadium along with a movie studio and a casino, all in an incredible smart city destination. And the school in Mississippi owns a piece of all this, and it creates a never ending pipeline of revenue for the next generation of artists and talent and young minds that'll be walking this earth. And we're all basically custodians of legacy. And I'm not even going to get into all the IP. It's insane, from the Jackson 5 to literally Passion of the Christ. And I've been blessed beyond means to connect with all of these people many years, the whole journey. Some of the individuals over the course of the 20, others like Deon here, I met this past summer, and we're all in this now for life. So moving forward, the foundation is the main, basically, you know, out front component of that with the charitable work we're going to do every year. Every year we do a telethon to start all this in the spring, centered around Earth Day. We raise a bunch of money for the world in a manner that nobody else is doing. Why studios with billions of dollars don't do this, I don't know, but we're going to. And then that's going to lead into a music festival and an international film festival that are going to be in Ocala, Florida every year, that'll have a full sale component to them as well. And when we live stream on Earth Day, you're going to be hosting what's going on at Full Sail, sir. And I'm going to get on a plane, start in Atlantic City, and then fly down to Florida and launch the foundation in Troy's name with you. That's the plan.
Wow.
Okay. Sounds ambitious.
It was, and I was able to do it all. We're at the end. Deon could tell you some of what I've been through, man. The person that Deon and I met through fired a bullet at my head. Okay. That's been the battle of good versus evil
Hmm.
that's happened through this whole thing. And I'm done. It's all finished. Like we raised $13 billion, myself, Deon, and other individuals behind a real estate trust I found to make an offer to buy Paramount Global away from David and Larry Ellison. And that offer has now been acknowledged by the Paramount board. It's public. The group that I did that with financially is funding all this. So I
What
got to
happened to
take,
Skydance?
we were the competition.
Oh.
Skydance is going to own the studio. They're moving forward with Skydance's offer, even though ours was better. And ours was better now publicly. And so one group out of New York is suing Paramount and Skydance and trying to block the offer because of the offer that we made, the New York Pension Fund. And Mario Gabelli, the largest minority shareholders involved in that. This is very real. I did all this
Wow.
and I sacrificed everything and I walked in nothing but path and purpose. I gave up my free will. Deon can attest to that. He watched it and knew every step of it, as did all my other partners. There were a lot of people. There's over 200 people involved in this, Culley. I built a modern day studio. I cut the cord from corporate Hollywood in the same manner that streaming cut the cord from cable. Not kidding, truly. Deon's one of the main components of that. We did it. And so I've got private money from a real estate trust with the vision connected to real estate. As soon as Edward finishes these blueprints, I'm getting on a bus because I need 2 days to organize everything. So I'm not just going to fly out there and I want to be in New York. And I've had so many people bother me and take me out of flow that if I'm on a bus riding across the country so I can organize a data room worth literally billions, potentially trillions of dollars, it's insane. We have a partnership with America's oldest historically Black private boarding school. We're building a movie studio there. That's done. We've got a chance to partner with Shaq to build the Shaq College of Sports and Media in Atlanta. That agreement's pretty much in place and done. The person overseeing that ran TBS and Turner Sports for 26 years, Lenny Daniels, who's only out of a job because Discovery bought the WB. I mean, it's insane. We've created basically Instagram meets Netflix meets Spotify, and it's a foundational element of education. We've got the number one hologram telecommunications business ever in the world, and the genius, Steve McNelly, who's behind that, and over 300 global patents, some of which make it to where the ABBA hologram show can never come to the United States because they're infringing on his patents. And then we can do our own hologram show as it relates to the Jackson 5, including for Broadway, because our partner on Broadway, Bruce Long, has won 4 Tony Awards. Our other partner, Tracy Aaron, she did Spring Awakening.
Right.
I'm staying with Danny, her son, in New York when I go out there next week. And his family, Tracy Aaron's family, they invented asphalt. Yeah. The money's
Wow.
not the issue. I got led to all the funding. I put it all together. I even met Bruce Lipton and Steve Behrman, who wrote a book called Spontaneous Evolution. Well, now they're writing a sequel to the book. It's called The Big Picture World Group.
Cool.
Not kidding. It's insane. I've got a 2-hour Zoom with them from the other night. So this is all Troy, bro. Literally. The whole thing, man. He was the first person that invested in this. He was the first person that invested in Sydney and I to get us practically started on the move to Venice Beach that happened 5 years ago. Every single time I went to give him back what he invested, he told me, no, he believed in me so much, keep it in and let's keep this whole thing going. So he started Big Picture Collective with us. I met him when I inducted Miller into the Hall of Fame. All this is all designed and connected together, man. You know, God's the only person that knows our beginning, our middle, and our end. And this whole thing is nuts. You know, when he passed away in October, bro, I had to keep going, man. And that's been the hardest thing, dude. It's just the moments when I reflect on everything we talked about. And that's why this is such a big deal for me and why it's got to involve you out front in it.
Yeah. Well, let me know how we can help. Let's see what we can do.
Thank you. So you're on with David's going to be helping structure this and kind of oversee the kickoff for it. So, and then obviously the whole thing's connected to Deon and Larry's platform. And
Hey,
this is
Will.
the, yeah.
Just really quick, I did have a question. The telethon, are we going to be broadcasting that on Connect Your City?
Yes, you are. Every single channel. It's a complete 24-hour event, an entire global takeover of the media industry with major superstars and A-listers. This whole thing is going to be promoted with like major publicity. This is all lined up. Drew and I know Drew wrote us and said he was going to try to be on here, but I mean, guys, I've literally positioned stuff. I mean, from a musical talent, I'm not even going to say it out loud what I've lined up just because it's ridiculous and no, everyone's going to be like, there's no way. But yeah, there is because these are all direct relationships that built all this. So the whole plan is to promote what we're doing as an entity from all the IP, every single project we're funding, every show, every book we're putting out, et cetera. All these individuals from Downey to Wahlberg to Vanessa Hudgens to Banksy, not kidding, um, are all going to make up what this night's going to be. And then it's going to be a whole weekend. We're going to start it on Easter, which is, funny enough, 420. And that's going to be a whole charitable aspect as it relates to the poker event, right? With Blake Wynn, that's a celebrity poker tournament, Deon. So we'll start the broadcast with that, and then it'll lead into the 24-hour telethon, which is essentially a massive marketing launch as well for what we're doing and to promote the music festival. I'll try to have acts involved that are going to be playing at the music festival. And I'm talking global acts. We're going to have essentially satellite crews in like Macau and Thailand and other areas. It's the Big Picture World Group, so it's all the global partners to show how we're wired in on an international scale. So you can't just take down the entertainment industry by just doing something here in the United States. This had to be on a global scale. So I found founding partners with Russian citizenship. You know, they're from Thailand, they're from Russia, they're from Ukraine. I have interpreters from every single part of each one of those worlds as day-to-day partners in this as well. And then it's all connected to taking the Canyon Country store global, right? So we'll announce the partnership with Love Street, where Jim Morrison lived behind it, and then how that store is going to be a complete e-commerce consumer basically business. CanyonCountryStore.com will launch. It's a drop shipping basically entity from groceries to everything under the sun. Long term, we'll be able to directly compete with Amazon. That's my vision. Has been for some time now. But we have a foundation, unlike Amazon, in education, entertainment, and sports. And not only sports, the real estate, we're going to own it. So, from a standpoint of what Amazon became, not being in those business areas, and realistically, you see all these internet entrepreneurs that set up all these drop shipping businesses, and you see these videos where these 19, 20-year-olds are making millions of dollars. Well, what happens if you connect that into a modern day Planet Hollywood type vibe? And you connect it to a sports ownership group where we're already buying teams in the Greek basketball league. And most people can't go do this. Most people aren't me. Most people don't have relationships with global superstars, iconic sports figures, basketball agents, real estate brokers. Took me a long time to put all the puzzle pieces together. We're also building a hospital in La Paz as well, right down the street from the stadium. And there's an F1 racetrack that goes around the entire thing, by the way, as well. And I've got a relationship with Kristen Leclerc, who's literally the pretty much biggest F1 driver in the world outside of Lewis Hamilton. And then the partners for the basketball side of this are Meta World Peace, Shaquille O'Neal, and Penny Hardaway, Alex English, who's a Hall of Famer. It's nuts, Culley, and D, and Mr. McClendon. So
Amazing.
all of that, all these faces, all these people, from your beautiful faces to Mark Wahlberg's and others, are about to be in a major presentational overview that is going to be presented to Malka, who's already committed to this, and I'm impressed with, as are all of you. Well, not all of you, but D, you're in that press release for Piney Woods. And and the next step of this is Malka taking all of my data and structuring each one of these individual companies that I've created. From literally a video game company where we also, Deon, I got on with Andrew Prell yesterday in the city of Las Vegas. We're going to do a video game E3 type event at the Sphere every year. along with a horror and sci-fi convention, and we're gonna stream the whole thing. And also stream all the panels. So like basically what Comic-Con is, but why Comic-Con doesn't do a live stream that people can literally monetize, I don't know, but we're going to. And that basically is the event that we'll do around this time every year, leading into the Earth Day telethon and so on and so forth. So we do 4 events every year, and it's endless, simultaneous 360-degree promotion and a complete self-publishing incubator that's run by a bunch of Emmy, Oscar, Grammy, and Tony winners. It's nuts.
It's gonna be amazing.
So that's the plan. And Cully, that's the whole foundational side. We can literally throw events that have global talent show up every time we go do it, and it's not like pulling teeth. Everybody shows up, man. I was having these meetings, and I mean, there were famous people at them too. I'd put a meeting together over a 24-hour notice, 40 to 50 people would show up. Deon drove out for one of them. He can attest to it. And I didn't realize the cast relationships that I truly had to be able to transition into directing full time. So when all this launches and we fund these 33 films, I'm retiring from producing. And my sole focus is literally the 6 films I'm doing in the next 12 months, one of them being Devil's Breath. And then I'm going to direct the sequel to They Live, starring Mark Wahlberg. And I am setting a meeting with Dwayne Johnson, who I've been connected to for about 15 years. And I want to cast him as the president. And he's got the same agent as Mr. Wahlberg. So I've never met Mark in person. His 2 best friends have become 2 of mine. And all these people not only support what I'm trying to do, but they really see the vision that is me, that's been locked away for 19 years from the gates of Hollywood, and people like Lee Scott. And we don't have to say it past that, but I am done allowing people to take my energy from me, step on me, and literally try to alter what a path and purpose was that had nothing to do with me, but I've been a vessel for. And we're at the end of the story. So we're about to create a whole new one together. I'm done.
Yeah, we're
Thank you.
honored, man. We're honored.
Thank you guys. This is it. So this is the foundation. We're the core 4. And then Drew Spanding, who you guys will all talk to at the same time at some point, is gonna market and oversee this entire thing. And this is what he does. And he has 2 amazing autistic children. And Drew's a superstar and a genius based in Detroit, Michigan. And he runs a company called Price Slide, which is basically a modern day Groupon, only better. And he has taken, like Edward over there with the architect blueprints, he's got the marketing side of this and what's been in my brain basically finally on paper visually. So now everybody gets to see it, and we'll get this thing funded and we'll be done before the end of March. We will all have a cash flow and a timeline and an actual plan to push all this forward. So the final pieces are this month, and then we prep this whole thing beginning of April.
Cool.
And that's not going to change. Finally, we're done.
Well, I see a lot of great potential. Especially, I've been studying ways to create affiliate programs with businesses.
Amazing.
So that I mean, my goal is to have the largest affiliate program in the world for what we're doing, and being able to tie it to real time, real world scenarios with local businesses who are not able to get, traditional advertising like billboard services, everything like that. I told you I have the access to those. So,
Yep.
being able to put together price points and packages so that even the smallest mom and pop businesses can afford to be a part of what we have going on, especially at the major sporting events, because they're being boxed out right now. And then you also have to think about what is the baby boomers. All the ones who own all the businesses now. What's going to happen when those businesses when they want to retire? Especially when their kids don't
Yeah.
want to be a part of, the family business, quote unquote. So,
Exactly.
economically, what does that what does that look like towards to the country and also to the rest of the world? Because the United States is obviously the biggest economy. So what does that look like to the rest of the world? What we're putting together is um, programs mixed with nonprofits, mixed with athletes, name, image, and likeness, to where local heroes can actually own parts of those businesses, or the majority ownership or minority ownership of those businesses to keep them afloat. Businesses that are in communities for past 20, 30, 40, 50 years, staples in the communities where they may just need stuff like a little bit of um, uh, just bringing everything up to code so everything's rejuvenated and looking newer, and we're not losing these businesses and not losing the culture of each city. And that's what I love about Connect to Your City. It is literally what we're doing. We're
Yeah.
connecting to our cities.
Yep, 100%, 100%. Dude, that's incredible, D. And could you real quick, just because I want to bring, uh, Culley's been trying to connect with me on this for a bit, and life's been obviously taking place. So could you just kind of run through with him really what Connect to Your City does? Because I'm not sure, Culley, this was in the overview, but it's better hearing it from Deon himself. If you can also share too, and for David, what you and Larry got popping and how this all flows together and works.
So Connect Your City is a standalone broadcasting platform. So we don't necessarily need the internet. We can do it over emergency frequencies. So if America was to get attacked by Russia in any kind of way and they knocked our internet out, United States would be using our platform to communicate around the world. That's just one aspect of it. But we also have partnered up with Roku. We partnered up with Amazon Fire, just to name a few of them. They Roku actually uses our technology to boost its channels. Um, so so in essence, what we have is we have 210 OTT television networks and growing, and over 40 OTT radio stations and growing. We have the capacity to put much more on there. We have over 156 servers around the world. We have a satellite over Africa, and we're growing even more so as we speak. We're already in multiple countries, but what we can do is um, we can broadcast. It's really four staples to what we're doing right now. It's not necessarily OTT television networks, because that kind of describes a Netflix or a Hulu, but it's more like broadcasting networks. So ABC's, NBC, CBS's, Fox's. We have 210 of those, because we have ability to broadcast on a continuous loop for each channel. So we have slots to fill up on a 24/7 format. And then we also have the ability to go on demand, pay-per-view, or live anywhere in the world. So when Will says, "Hey, we want to be broadcasting live all over the planet, and put it on all the networks at the same time," we have the capability of doing that effortlessly. We actually broadcasted. It was called the most prestigious cannabis award show out of Barcelona. We did that. We broadcasted from Barcelona onto our platform and syndicated it on 20 networks at the same time. So this is stuff that we're capable of doing, through being when upon meeting Larry, who is the owner of Connect Your City. I first started out as a program director, and then I moved my way up to general manager because of some of the things that I've been able to do. We have now access to over 4,600 digital billboards nationwide, and that's growing as we speak. Additional 30,000 Spotify DJs, with the lowest active listening group of 30,000 active listeners. The highest is 600,000. We have access to over 300 AM/FM radio stations. So we can truly distribute around the planet on a level that's never been seen before. And what we're doing and what Will's doing, it lines up perfectly with each other, and creating a system to where people can um, they can you can choose to sell your product, but you don't have to. You can literally keep your product, your film, your content that you're making, and we provide unparalleled services to where you can keep it and make money and monetize and everything you need to do.
It's a complete restructuring of the entire entertainment industry on a global scale. And it's literally also the plot of They Live, oddly enough.
I'm looking at it as you speak. It's really impressive. Amazing.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it. And it's crazy because, Will, you haven't even seen it yet. You guys are going to see some I'm putting together some amazing proposals and business plans when it comes to our execution with NASCAR. I'm also working with Motown Alumni Association with their Motown in the Schools initiative. So we're putting together some massive stuff over here in real time right now as we speak. And what we're proposing to do, and everything that Will's talking about doing, it's just really going to shut down the game completely. The technology that we're implementing next, the 360 degree viewership, that type of stuff is going to be next level. It won't be able to be. It won't. The people are going to have to come to us. Put it like that.
Yep. And we
All the
also,
boxing,
Wow.
and we've got,
all the live events, everything's going to be wanting to come through us because they're only going to do this through us.
and we've got everybody. And the thing is, we're throwing a yearly music festival that every single act's going to want to go to because all the ticket proceeds forever from the gate of that festival go to charity. The broadcast rights, well, you see, we own those. And since that's a 3-day event that the whole world's going to be focused on every year, from a world class destination, Culley, it's going to be at the World Equestrian Center, which Time Magazine named as one of the 100 greatest places in the world to visit. That's forever. And I'm the only person that can do this in the manner that I can in Ocala because I'm from there. And so, based on that, every single year we'll have the opportunity to sell the broadcast rights for this. And those broadcast rights basically pay for the entire portfolio long term. It's a complete never ending ecosystem from funding to literally all of it, man, education. And then the craziest thing is this platform, Connect to Your City, it was incubated at Jackson State University down the street from Piney Woods School.
Wow.
Talk
So
about coincidence.
it's all a legacy situation. It took me a long time to understand, and I got to call him back. I got to call back Steve. So once I got brought IP that was connected literally directly to Passion of the Christ. So the producer of that, Stephen McAvity, he's 70 years old. We're funding his directorial debut. He's an amazing human being, and he has produced all of Mel's movies: Braveheart, Apocalypto, Passion, all of them. We have the opportunity to have a runway in front of us to be the ones making that sequel with Mel that everyone keeps hearing about. That is on the table.
Wow.
And then when I got brought Jay McKierney's book, The Last of the Savages, Jay wrote Bright Lights, Big City, the movie with Michael J. Fox, so on and so forth. Well, Jay Cox, who just got an Oscar nomination for writing A Complete Unknown about Bob Dylan, is attached to adapt The Last of the Savages that we're funding. You want to know what he wrote? Not only Silence for Scorsese, but The Last Temptation of Christ. So when I got brought those two IPs, and then obviously the Jackson 5 stuff was on the table, I started this with Pulp Fiction. The Canyon Country Store is 100 years old. It's legacy. And when I announced Big Picture, I don't even know how I wrote the original press release for Big Picture Collective almost 4 years ago. And I wrote in there that the Big Picture Collective, it's a collective of artists. This is bigger than us. This is family. We are legacy producers. And that's what all this is. We're producing legacies and we're the custodians of legacies. And Cully, man, I know you know this. Troy used to always say to me, because he had such a sense of humor, right? He was always like, man, I wonder what they're going to say in the obituary one day when I'm gone. When I read that thing, man, and it started, the first word said prolific. You can't, his legacy is what this is all about. And that legacy literally changed my life. So this is going to be an honor. And it has been everything I've had to walk through. I would do it all over again in a second because I know what it means for the world moving forward. The power and the influence and the absolute control that corporate Hollywood has reigned over so many people and politically. I mean, I get sick of, I grew up a Democrat. I think both sides are screwed. I think the whole thing needs to be independent and shook up. And I'm not upset about some of the things that are happening right now. But, it's like from a standpoint of just how ugly all this gets. And when I used to see, you see benefit donor nights, right, for the Democratic side back after Obama was in the White House, and it's thrown by like, media leaders. So when you've got somebody like where Iger's pushing an initiative at Disney, and then you've got literally news networks that are predominantly one side, how is that not partisan mediaship? It's completely biased on both sides, from Fox to all that shit sucks. I hate it because it literally just divides. None of that unites in any way. So everything that we're doing is about
Really?
uniting. Because I just want to say, sorry, the last piece of this is this whole thing is an entity that unites. It's disrupting the matrix through peace and love. And La Paz means peace, and Canyon Country's on Love Street, right? And no matter what the whole world argues over, everybody loves movies, music, books, entertainment, sports, food, wine. Those are everything that we're focused in. And that's going to be everything that we put out into the world. And we're going to connect it all together, from the content to the festivals to all of it. It's all going to be connectivity. The way my crazy brain works in connecting things together, this whole thing connects together forever. And how it's produced, how it's put out, the whole entertainment side is going to be roadmapped and laid out. And it's a foundation that everybody's going to be able to understand, but also everybody collectively can tend to it. This was never something that I was trying to create or start that was going to be run and like gatekept by me. I want to create something that everybody could literally run together. And that's what this is, down to the ownership that we're going to be able to sell to the world. And that's being structured by Republic out of New York. That's another meeting I have to go to, but just it's huge, Cully. And I've been waiting to connect with you on all of this, to just share with you what this is, and you know what your boy believed in so much, and in me, it was all this.
Is there a business plan or some kind of prospectus or
Yeah.
deck?
Yeah, that's everything I'm talking about. You're going to see a full-blown deck and plan. You can read the article about Project Rise Partners. Half of buy-in Paramount was to implement this whole vision. I was the funding behind that. I introduced Moses Gross from Malka Equities to Daphne Ziman, and we formed the SPV that basically put a massive real estate and entertainment bid together to beat David and Larry. I did that back in August, and I drove cross country to do it. And ever since then, it's been refining what that was and continuing to meet people. Like back when I did that in August, I had never even been to the Canyon Country store. These were not things, nothing that I have in this that we're funding or doing. From Deon and Connect to Your City, I didn't go out and look for any of this. I was led to every single piece of it. And the person that brought in the streaming platform, the video game company, and our partner Chris to get people work visas, the person that introduced me to all three of those people fired a gun at my face and is going to jail in Vegas. The case keeps getting moved. But I mean, this whole story is insane. So when I was being interviewed by police, they're like, "What are you doing out here?" And the main purpose was to find the video game house. So literally, Wahlberg's crew, Rasta Phil, Scotty, they connected me with a bunch of realtors. So I had a house. And so when I'm being interviewed by police, who are your business partners? I have to tell them. It's crazy. The whole story for this long term with what this becomes, this type of work we're doing, is going to be written about, documented, and the path to get here. See, it's all of us. It's almost like the Avengers connecting together. And this is not some kid with some big movie ideas. This is what I've seen. It's what I walked. I was getting visions of Washington, D.C. 1 month later, I became president of a PAC behind RFK Jr., and I didn't ask for the job. Now we're releasing the doc on RFK's life, and not the government stuff, the work that he did fighting corporations and trying to help children. I just got the doc on Kanye, the follow up to Genius. The Genius doc was narrated by my oldest professional relationship, one of my best friends and business partners in all this, three-time Grammy winning poet over the last 2 years, Jay Ivy, who grew up with Kanye in Chicago. It's all insane.
Wow.
I didn't ask for any of this. I didn't want to be this person. I didn't want this to be this big. I just wanted to make movies, and I wanted to direct them. And the very first person that ever suppressed me from directing, Cully, you know who it was out here? It wasn't Stephen C. Miller. His name was Lee Scott.
Yeah, he's nuts.
And so, and that's what really I had been wanting to reach out to you and connect, and I can't explain it because, like I even said, my settings were set up to not see stuff, and I saw that day, and I specifically saw like just the public kind of passive aggressive kind of attack on what you said, and it was Troy, bro, getting under my skin to literally respond because it made me realize that it was the time period to really start trying to bring you into this as well. It's all weird. And then Lee couldn't help himself. He sent me a receipt. You see, I got to collect all the receipts from all the evil people around me and all the nonsense they've written me and they've said. And it's going to be a book one day. Because you want to know what I learned from my friend Graham Kay, who got me the rights to Steve McQueen? He taught me write it, relive it, say it, forget it.
Boy, talking about wisdom.
And I've added one more piece, recorded it's forever. And so, people can't help themselves but write things from a place of reactionary tendencies. And all I do is counteract a bunch of reactions. And so I don't react to anything anymore. I have zero anxiety in my life, and I'm waking up every day in never ending flow. And I try to connect all that together, and it's been overwhelming at times. It's made me homeless at times. And it's going to make me a very, very peaceful person for the rest of my life because I know what's coming next. I'm wrapping it up this week, heading to New York, and all of us are going to truly actually change the world together.
Mhm.
And I'm doing that in the honor of our fallen friend. And I will always walk in that. You see, that's what always keeps me on track for the rest of my life based on the lifestyle I lived early on. I know how many people are no longer on this earth because of what this all is. I get to live with that forever.
Yeah, just keep moving it forward. Like I said, shoot me a business plan and what you guys
Gotcha.
think I can help with, and I'd be happy to hopefully participate in something. I don't know.
Thank you.
I've got
It's
a
this.
Swiss
It's
Army
this.
knife of skills.
I know you do.
So
Yeah. Do you want to? Can you share real quick for David and Deon some of your background, Culley, Mr. Hall of Famer?
I've been in post for like 25 years. I work with all the top music acts for a very long time, from Lady Gaga, Mariah Carey, um, Pink, uh, the what are they? Blackpink, um, Beyonce. I make them all skinny and pretty for their products, and we also do visual effects and for TV shows like Westworld and Righteous Gemstones and Hunger Games, stuff like that. I built my own studio from the ground up with, buying all the computers and stuff myself, networking, trying to do it on a budget, but making it great. Been connected in Hollywood for a good amount of time. Not as well connected as I'd hope to be, but I know the people behind the people, a lot of those
Sick.
people, so to speak. Speaking of, there's a couple of things that you've said. It's interesting to me because my digital human company that I was a part of before it lost funding, um, at least I don't know if they still do, but I left them because I found somebody who was embezzling money, had a
Jesus.
contract with the Jackson Four, not necessarily the Jackson Five. I had met with three of the brothers before what's his name passed away,
Yeah.
and they wanted to do a show like Abba Voyage. Coming
Yep.
back to Abba Voyage is not a hologram; it's a LED volume wall.
I love that you know all this. I'm going to introduce you to Steve,
It's a
who
big
I'm talking about.
screen. I've been to Abba Voyage. We were trying to get things going like Abba Voyage for in this digital human company. The funding came out of Korea, but they didn't know what they were doing, and they spent a lot of money and gotten one of the investors embezzled, well, supposed investor embezzled $1 million out of it and shorted us all. But we had something pretty good going. We were talking to David Bowie's people, Elton John's people. There was a deal with Duran Duran, and
Wow.
through my connection through Tremaine Williams, I got to talk with the Jackson Four, hopefully bringing in. We talked to Prince as well for Michael Jackson. He was interested in coming in as a creative for the show, but it's really hard to get Michael in because his lawyer, who represents his estate,
Yeah. So Let
Blanca is very, very protective of
let
Michael's.
me talk. Let me talk on that real quick, just because it all syncs. So Henry Vaccaro beat the Jackson estate in a lawsuit years ago. I can send you a whole article on this. But so my partners, Don Bennett and Henry out of New York, they have the rights and the ownership to a bunch of Jackson 5 unreleased masters recordings and the streaming rights to the Jackson 5 TV series that we're releasing on our platform and re-releasing. And we're also going to create a scripted series around the formation of the Jackson 5 and do a music competition series because the masters that he has are Michael at like 11, 12,
Right.
13, where all these others are at like 16, 17. So it's the original masters 74 unreleased Jackson 5 songs that have never been released before to the general public. So the Jackson estate's not involved, but I'm also partners. One of my manager for the last 12 years as a producer was John Schneider, Rob's brother, and John introduced Antoine Fuqua to his wife. So I've got Fuqua on
One.
board because Fuqua also discovered my partner and one of my best friends, Denzel Whitaker, cast him in Training Day, and then Denzel Washington cast Denzel as the lead in The Great Debaters.
Which,
So we've got
which wife? I'm curious.
what's up?
Which wife? Because when I first moved out here in
His
2000,
current Antoine, who Antoine's
uh,
married to right now.
okay.
So he met
His
through
first wife,
she.
Delilah, was a roommate of mine briefly
No
when I first
way,
moved out
dude.
here.
So here it is. So I'm bringing in Antoine. That's my hope, and what John and I have been talking about to do this whole thing because he'll be able to unite the Jackson estate. So I'm going to have him direct the experience. So we have rights and ownership, but that all has to be careful how it's framed and talked about because it's not actually through the Jacksons, but we have the rights and ownership.
Could get
And
combine
Steve,
them
well,
if you
and that's
combine
where
them with that stuff because they were
exactly.
interested in and I don't know if they still have a contract with the old company I left, or if they signed a contract, but they want to do a anthology like the ABBA Voyage, and I don't know if Michael's had been on board yet, but with the Jackson 5, 4, and then do an anthology where each time they come out, they get older as digital humans. And
That's what we were kind of talking. That's crazy. And this is the
but
thing.
but
So
you
go
can
ahead.
if you have the rights to the music, it's fine, but you don't have the rights to their image. So that's a tricky one. You
Well,
can't
we have the rights to the images of what we own
for the
from
recorded
literally
shows, maybe, but
from the that's exactly what
I'm
it would
talking about
be.
creating new content with
No,
their
which is, and that's why I want to involve the state, and that's why I'm planning on to involve Antoine Fuqua in this, and
I tell
then
you, if you have the money, they'll go for it. At least the
and we
Jackson,
do. That's
because
the thing.
that's what they are about is the money.
Yep. And then we also have Sir Brett Livingston Strong, who was Michael's only public partner. He was a world class artist, friends with Andy Warhol. He's still alive. And he owns Michael's entire fine art collection that he painted and created himself. So we're acquiring that. And now those are museum pieces. And all these Canyon Country stores that we're going to build in various locations around the world are going to incorporate the art of Michael Jackson and Banksy. And now they become store museums as grocery stores with artists basically doing freehand work on the inside walls and so on in our ecosystem. And that's the whole consumer goods side of this. And then also the Michael Jackson pieces, they're going to go in the studio in Mexico, and then we're going to create an entire exhibit at Pineywood School right outside of Jackson, Mississippi. So that's this is all in this overview, Chloe.
Yeah, I definitely need some kind of deck because there's a lot of
Yeah.
information
Oh,
here that
bro.
I don't have. So
No, it's all good. And we haven't even touched on it. The IP is insane, but it's the biggest.
well, it
It's
sounds huge, but
it's massive.
where do
I'll
you
get you.
start? Where's A, B, C? Because you got to start. You
I'm
can't
at
start
Z.
with
I'm at
the
Z,
world.
buddy. See, your brain, because you're a leader, you're naturally diving in like a couple other people who are no longer involved in this because they couldn't get past what was in front of them and also understanding what I'd already put together. We're at Z. I'm getting on a plane and I'm flying to the financing that's asked me to come to New York to literally sit down with them because Moses has never even met me in person, and they're going to structure the company that I created. CJ O'Connor, who I met through Lee Kaplan, who funded FIU's entire media program down in Miami,
and started Penske Media Group with Jay Penske, Roger Penske's son, introduced me to CJ through his business partner, Aaron McIntosh, back in August. Aaron sent CJ a 45-page overview that I think I emailed you already, and they verbally agreed to invest in the vision I wrote to buy Paramount Global and monetize the entire thing, including the studio over on Melrose in LA, and opening it 24/7 to the general public and all kinds of stuff that I talked about doing. Because back in April, I signed an agreement with Piney Woods School to the tune of receiving thousands of acres of free land to build a movie studio on. Do you guys know how much free land in Mississippi is worth? Millions of dollars. So I immediately had collateral behind a vision that I created at a school that's 115 fucking years old. It's a year older than Paramount. So how did I do all this? Well, I backed it with $1 million real estate deal back in April of last year. Millions, over $10 million in potential value. And that's how I did it. And
Wow.
nobody believed me. And then people are still asking me if my funding has landed because nobody wants to educate themselves on what I've told them until I'm blue in the face. So that's why I've been annoyed at having to talk so much and why everyone tries to tell me I talk and give them a lot of fucking information. Yeah, you think if I was spitting out all this information that I wouldn't have money behind it? You think somebody would go through their life and do everything that I've done endlessly since this time last year if there wasn't funding lined up behind it? I am not doing any of this for my fucking health. I'm doing all of this because God's making me do it. I have no choice in the matter. I would love to take a day off. It would be awesome. I haven't had one in over a year. Every fucking day, endlessly, rinse, cycle, and repeat. And then down to where it literally at points had me remove myself from my family. My uncle, well, I still haven't talked to him since he told me I was insane and I couldn't beat Larry and David Ellison. You know how awesome it was to publicly get acknowledged by a board that I put more money together than Larry and David Ellison? And my uncle lives in Ocala, where we're going to be throwing this event every year. So it's a constant reminder of what he told me I couldn't do. That's all God. It's got nothing to do with me. It's ego. It's the ego I grew up around and saw within my own family. My own family that never left Ocala, Florida.
It's
I was
funny.
the
My
only.
mom is in Ocala right now.
It's all connected, Cully. It's nuts. And I've had witnesses for everything, even witnesses for getting the money. And one of the people that was the witness of the money is the person that assaulted me before I got shot at. You see, that's what makes the story so great. It's people that I've been through stuff even legally with that can be like, yeah, what he's saying is true. He's not lying. It's incredible. I didn't ask for any of this. I get what the whole story is. It's why I got led to Bruce Lipton and Steve Behrman. They wrote this book, Cully, called Spontaneous Evolution. I found it randomly in front of like a book library outside of someone's house, like the little makeshift ones. And I knew I was supposed to connect with them. And Steve Behrman, he goes by Swami Steve. He's like this Indian type comedian as well. And they wrote this book about a collective of people at some point coming together to tend to the garden through love. And basically, it would create a spontaneous evolution. It's literally us, dude. I did a 2.5 hour Zoom call with them the other night. Didn't plan for it to be that long. And it's an incredible Zoom. The whole thing's recorded. I can share with you guys. It's wild. And these guys are like world class authors and geniuses. One's a bioscientist, the other's a political scientist. And they're like in their 70s. And they both have Wikipedias. And they're incredible. And yeah, man, I got led to the best and brightest in the world. And so that's the whole thing, Cully. I have all these people in this big group. So we've created multiple pillars of companies in entertainment and all these spaces, consumer goods. We got a water company, a shoe company, a decentralized internet company, a clean energy company, all this shit. It's an entire ownership group for an entire ecosystem of sustainability and life on Earth, literally. It's like movie shit.
Yeah, it sounds
Yeah.
very complicated. It seems like where are you concentrating first? That's like you
it's,
gotta have
well,
a
see,
huge
I
team to
did
be able
that.
to
That's the
accomplish
thing,
something
just so
that's
you
massive.
know, bro, I don't pull any of this up from looking any of this up. Everything's in my brain. I am the gatekeeper of it all. I don't understand how any of this even happened. And I focused on everything simultaneously at once and got it done. I'm serious. It's nuts. I don't know, and I didn't plan to do any of that. So I went into the tops of all these different businesses. It was like playing the game of Monopoly on a board in a circle every quarter since I got baptized January 21st last year. From literally being in place to start what was the path that they live to literally just every point of every meeting at every point in time. I knew what I was supposed to connect together, knew people that were coming in, people that weren't supposed to be involved, people that God almost spiritually possessed to involve them to connect pieces together to remove those people from the company and leave it up to me to decide if they were supposed to be involved or not. And I know all this sounds insane, but none of it is. It's been everybody's life and all of us collectively together. Deon's been involved in this since September. Deon, your birthday. When were you born, bro? That was the day we
October
met.
22nd.
There it is. That was the day he and I met. And the place where I did it now recorded, we filmed it on video, 15-minute face-to-face Zoom call to meet for the first time. It was the same backyard I had a bullet shot at me in. It's all been documented. It's all been recorded. It's all been blueprinted out. We're at the end where I'm setting Culley with the genius architect who's literally finally blueprinting this out from the architectural design of the property that we have been given. And it's not just one piece, it's multiple pieces of land to create a decentralized studio ecosystem grid in La Paz, Mexico, Los Angeles, and Piney Woods, Mississippi, with a foundation centered around a store that's 100 years old that allows that store to be a consumer goods business and an e-commerce platform. So it's everything from a financial generational wealth standpoint to provide our group enough capital outside of any corporate funding, any government funding. It's all private, connected to a real estate trust to fund everything forever forward.
Guys,
People don't,
I-
it's wild. And
I
this
got-
is all, go ahead.
I apologize. I have a client calling.
You're
and I have
good. That's
delivery.
Yeah, I gotta go
everything.
too, guys.
Yeah, let me
Thank you, man.
let me know what I can do and shoot me an email and how I can participate and we'll move
I
on.
will. You and
Sounds
I'll
crazy,
send
man.
you, I'll
Okay.
send you everything and you're in what I'm sending you, so you'll see it. I'm gonna finish all this up. I will let each of you know when I'm heading to New York next week. And we'll just take the next steps together once I
All
get
right.
there.
Safe travels.
Thank you.
Yes,
All right.
safe travels, be well, and keep the
Thank you.
dream, babe. Keep the dream.
All
Thank
right.
you. Thank you
Absolutely,
all.
absolutely.
Bye.
Much love.
Call
Bye,
me if you
guys.
need me.
I will. Thanks, D.
Bye, gentlemen.
Thank
All
you. Hey,
right.
David,
Yes.
Joey called while we were on this.
Yeah.
While I'm traveling, I'm gonna finish up all the MOUs for all the pieces of IP. That's how I'm organizing everything. I'm gonna take the IP, then I'm gonna contact everybody and do an email for each one, and we're gonna docu-sign all this shit. And by the time I step off the bus, all the signed paperwork will finally be in place with everybody. And then Dion, oh, he dropped off. Or wait, no, you said, oh, it is just us. That's fine. I'll call him back. So that's the plan. I'll do it in that manner. So I'll get you connected with Joey Stanton. And then,
I
yeah,
love that you're doing the bus, man. I love that. It's so wise.
right? I don't want to be on a plane. I can't be around that
Oh,
kind of
man.
energy.
Way to go. You can work, you can think, you can dream, you can see the world. Oh, it's great. Brilliant. Brilliant.
Yeah, I want to see, I drove cross country right to start this. I'm gonna literally get driven cross country now to close it, and then I can just focus on work. And I'll get headphones. I'm gonna put a hoodie up, and I'm gonna be on my laptop for 3 days.
And I look forward. I mean, this is a bit down the road. We got plenty of time, but I look forward when we can sit down and talk about Devil's Breath.
Oh man, I can't wait to see. Yeah, that'll be, well, I'm gonna bring, my plan is to bring everybody out to Atlantic City to produce this launch. So because we can all stay at the hotel, the actual venue.
Oh, cool.
So that's the whole thing. Bill Boyd Jr., I'll get you looped in with. He produced for Jerry Lewis, like I was saying. Um, That's why Malka's going to fund this, bro. It's a major tax write-off and puts them in a one-of-one space. And it also, quite frankly, helps them land Paramount, dude.
Right. Wow, that's huge. Interesting. I used to, back when I was at the Old Globe,
Yeah,
Jerry Lewis kept his boat down in San Diego, and we had a sailboat as well. So I used to talk with him every once in a while at the marina. We'd run into each other. He was
that's
an interesting
incredible.
guy.
That's incredible.
He was
Wow.
great. He was, yeah, yeah.
And that's the big thing I want you to help me spearhead. You see, it's the Jerry Lewis Foundation. So I basically Troy's legacy becomes this generation's Jerry
Right.
Lewis, and he loved Jerry. It's insane, dude.
And I look forward to learning more about Troy too.
Yeah, man. He was a special. He's literally the nicest person I ever met in my life.
And also realize that he's with you at every moment of every day.
Oh, I know.
And embrace that. Oh, you do, but he's there. No, he's there.
I know.
I believe, yeah.
Me too, man. He'd be so fucking proud of all this. And he's gonna be his best friend group. I didn't say it when we were on with everybody, but he moved out here with James Gunn, Bill Hader, and Jenna Fisher.
Wow. Wow.
And he went down the reality rabbit hole when he wanted to direct movies. And he got to see his Steve Miller as James Gunn. And I'm convinced it may have actually at the end fucking killed him.
Well, I've always had this belief that as long as our spirit continues, as long as people think of us and as long as people speak of us, we live. So he's living.
100%. 100%. And that's how I know, when everybody asks me, how do I know that all this is going to actually happen? That's how I know, because Troy died.
Well, also we have to remember we're creators, right? Everything we do is an act of faith
Yep.
because it makes no sense
Nope.
necessarily. We see something and we see the possibilities and we do it. We figure out a way to do it.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
I appreciate you too, and I'm honored not only to be your friend, but to help you be a part of this.
Thank you, David. Thank
Ciao.
you.
Take
Ciao,
care.
man. I'll talk to you.
All
Bye.
right. Bye.